Hey, Reb here, Rebecca, just not Becky, and Albert. My other dog is over there. You don't want to see what he's doing. So thanks for stopping by for the second video in my series about an issue that's extremely near and dear to my heart, premature birth. So if you didn't see the first video in the series, I will link it up above and I will put it in the description. And I think you're going to want to check that one out. It was a plant that was donated by Gabriella Plants, and it is a pretty awesome plant that I think you're going to want to see. My other dog. This one is extra special as well. So I explained a lot about what we're doing in this series in that video, so please do take a look at it, and if you can please watch the whole thing, I'd really appreciate it. What we're doing is talking about this issue, which is important to me because I had twin daughters named Rainey and Grace 18 years ago. And they were born too early and lived for about an hour before they passed away. They were beautiful and perfect, and we celebrate their lives. And they're very much a part of our family and our lives and every day. However, we'd much prefer that they were here physically so that we could hug them and hold them and laugh with them. Unfortunately, that just wasn't meant to be for Rainey and Grace. So I'm trying to raise awareness for an issue that tends to be very uncomfortable for people to talk about. And it needs to be talked about more. So that's what we're doing. And these amazing plants, they're trying to grab people's attention to bring them here so we can talk about that a little bit. And you can win an amazing plant from several incredible and popular greenhouses who we all know and love. Gabriella Plants, Steve's Leaves, Logies, and one of our favorite plant tubers, the Crazy Plant Man. Cody also owns a beautiful online plant shop called the Planty Place, and that is who we are featuring today. And I'll show you a video that he sent over to me a little bit later in the video. I just hit my dog in the head. He's been through worse. And he'll tell you what that plant is. You are definitely going to want to see this one. So today I'm going to do a little bit different thing, which we will do in every video. I am going to take a bit of a peek at some of the comments that people left in the last video who shared their experiences about premature birth and how they were touched by the issue. And in those comments, they shared happy endings. And I think we could use that. So I'm going to go through and read some of those after I give you just a couple of facts about the March of Dimes, because that's an organization that we're really focusing on, and I'm hoping that some of you will feel compelled to send a donation or volunteer or walk in the March for Babies. And those are all happening all over the country in the next month or two. So, time for you to sign up. So, March of Dimes, their website is just marchofdimes.org. Please go check it out. You can get tons of information all about them and their history and the amazing things they do. One of the things I think a lot of people don't know that they do is disaster relief efforts. When there is a natural disaster, their people go out and do all sorts of amazing things for mothers and babies and NICUs and hospitals. So please do check that out. I thought that was extremely interesting. They also have facts all about premature birth and babies. For instance, I learned in checking them out that 1 in 10 babies are born too early. Premature birth is described as a baby born before 37 weeks. That's not very early. We are going to hear about babies born much earlier than that, but that is technically preterm birth. It's also the #1 cause of death in babies. And did you know that 2 babies die every hour in the U.S.? They work to change that. So, let's take a look at some of the comments people left that were dramatic but had happy endings. I'm going to warn you that I can talk about my girls with a smile on my face, and I can talk about them pretty easily and happily, but I struggle with other people's stories, even when they have a happy ending. So I apologize in advance if I get awfully emotional. I'm going to try to make it through these as easily as possible and as happily as possible. So this first one is from Jim, and he's very active in the plant community. We all know and love him. His says, 1993. My wife was 5.5 months pregnant and visiting Connecticut on business. I was away in the Navy doing Navy things, as she wasn't due for a few months. She noticed that she was spotting and decided to go to the doctor and get looked at. The docs found that the placenta had ripped pretty badly and our daughter wasn't doing well. My ship got a call that they were going to have to do an emergency C-section immediately, and I could get there as soon as possible. I told my CO, and they released me on emergency leave. I flew up to Connecticut and got there an hour or 2 after my daughter had been born. She was 2 pounds 7 ounces at birth and in the NICU, where she was having trouble maintaining her breathing, body temperature, and had to be tube fed. It was touch and go there for a couple of days. She dropped to 2 pounds 2 ounces before she started gaining weight again. Thanks to the doctors and nurses, she began to grow, and the problems she was having became less and less frequent. She ended up spending 6 to 7 weeks in the NICU before we could bring her home. She was still small at 5 pounds and a few ounces, but she was healthy. I'm happy to say that today she is 26 years old and working on her PhD. That's amazing. Can you imagine going through that? These are the things we need to talk about. And even with a happy ending, that must have been torturous for these parents. Now, this one comes from Cody, the crazy plant man, who's donating the plant for today's giveaway. My niece was born premature, and it was a very long road. She turned 6 2 weeks ago. How incredible. Something to celebrate. This one comes from Diane. Oh, Reb. Premies have been in my life for 36 years as an RN at Arkansas Children's Hospital. Thank you for bringing this information to all of us plant people. I also had twin nieces that were 32 weekers. They are 25 years old now. One is finishing law school and the other a master's in psychology. Amazing. Chantel says, I have a good happy story about this subject that actually happened today. I'm an RN that takes care of preemies and little ones with congenital birth defects. One of the kids I care for was born at 22 weeks, 5 days, and weighed 1 pound 2 ounces. I have to tell you that is just barely over the size of my girls. So this one really hits home. Lots and lots of problems. He just turned 3 at the beginning of this month. We went to his pulmonologist today, and he just got approved to get his trach and G-tube pulled out. He has to wait until the end of flu season is over with, but it was a happy day. I've been with this family since the beginning, and they've come a long way, and March of Dimes was and is an excellent resource for them and myself. That's why we're doing what we're doing, right there. This one is from, it cut it off. I'll put it on the screen. This is an amazing and great way to bring awareness. I personally had a premature baby last year, and never in a million years did I think I was going to be a NICU baby. Mommy, excuse me. He was born at 23 weeks, weighing 1 pound, 7 ounces, 11 inches long. Try and picture the size of that baby. You can't. Until you've held one, you can't picture it. You can picture it. His survival chance was very low. He had his PDA ligation, 2 ROP surgeries, injection and laser, and I can't say this word, sorry, hernia repair, too many blood transfusions. He also battled through numerous infections, including NEC. They probably told me my son went through everything in the book. I would have to see my son through plastic isolate, only being able to hold his hand when he was going through his roughest days. He would take 1 step forward and 2 steps back, like the RNs and doctors would say. After 67 days, I finally got to hold my son skin to skin. I was an emotional mess. My son spent 5 months and a half in the NICU, and I stayed at the Ronald McDonald's Charity Homes. I would live almost 1 hour and a half from the Children's Hospital. Being there felt like a roller coaster full of ups and downs, bad news, good news, feeling physical and mentally drained, being so emotional, having my anxiety to the fullest. My son turned a year this past January and is doing good. A little behind physical, but overall doing great. I can't thank enough all of the doctors, RNs, RTs, OTs that took care of my son, and the NICU mommies that became really good friends. It's something I'll never forget. I plan on participating this year in the March of Dimes walk. Yeah. Talk about a happy ending. And we'll do one more from Emma. My brother was a premature birth. It ripped my mom apart when she wasn't even able to hold him for weeks. It was so hard on my mom. But he's now 14 years old and a track star. The coolest kid I know. I love that one so much. That it's from a sister. And how she said, he's now 14 years old and a track star. The coolest kid I know. What sister says that about her brother? I love that. So I hope that those meant something to you and show you what it's like not only to go through hell and back, but then to show you that there's happy endings. But those happy endings, they come from medical research, they come from advances, they come from amazing nurses and doctors, they come from neonatologists like Jimmy, who talked in the video in our first video in this series. Also, an amazing plant tuber. So this is why we're doing this. And for all of those happy endings, there's stories like mine and a million others, and we need to change that. And we can do a tiny, tiny bit. So, one thing you can do is listen to this whole video and share it. And I had some of the people that are more of my generation who asked how to share these because they're not quite so technologically savvy. So I made some screen captures that show exactly how you can share if you're not quite so technologically savvy. And I'll put those at the end. So let's take a look at Cody's video that he sent to me that shows you what he is donating and what you can win. And then I will give you today's rules on how to enter.
Hi guys, my name is Cody and I'm the Crazy Plant Man. Some of you may know me and some of you may not. But if you don't know me, hi. If you guys do know me, nice to see you again. So I was talking to Reb the other day and she says, hey, I have something that I am planning. And she ran the details by me and I said, Reb, this is absolutely wonderful. So she gave me more details and let me know who was donating and what was being donated and stuff like that. And I said, hey, I want to put a donation in. So if you guys don't know, I'm just not on YouTube, but I also have a wonderful little boutique, per se, online shop called plantyplace.com. So I want to let you guys know that I am throwing my hat in there and giving a donation as well. So this is my donation right here. I am donating this wonderful little philodendron Anthurium warwickwianum. So guys, this is a wonderful cause she is chosen. So, you know, let's do this. Back to you, Reb.
How about that plant? So I hope that you go check out Cody's new online shop, because he has more amazing plants like that. And I hope that even though, just like last time, you can only enter once, because truly it's not about the amazing plant. The amazing plant is meant to draw people in. The meaning is really about the issue at hand and trying to get awareness, trying to get people to get involved, whether it's having a conversation, whether it's bringing someone else into the open about their experience, making them feel more comfortable to talk about it, whether it's having you realize how hard someone you know had it and wanting to comfort them, whether it's getting you to volunteer in some little way, even if it is going out and walking in the March for Babies, or knitting a little blanket and donating it, or if you sew, maybe making a little gown that you can give to someone. I will show you what I have, and a volunteer made it. And to make the story even more incredible, I found out years later that someone I met had made these gowns with her mother and donated to the hospital, and it was one of those gowns that my girls wore for their hospital pictures and for their funeral. I didn't bury them in the gowns because I wanted those gowns for memory. When I found out that it was them who made these gowns for the NICU for parents like me to have, I was blown away. You can do something like that. These are my daughter's things. Those are the gowns. They're precious. Those are their little feet prints. Every detail. Yep. And their little hospital bracelets. I don't know if you could see just how tiny those little bracelets are. I know it's hard to see in the glass, but their things aren't coming out from in that glass. Sorry. All right. So, to enter the giveaway, this time, what I want you to do is put one simple fact, either about premature birth or about the March of Dimes, in the comment. That's all. Go Google one thing and put it in the comments. Help people learn. If you have a second, scroll through and look at all of the other facts. And then I want you to share this. You don't have to, but I would love it if you did. I know. It reduces your chances the more people win or enter. But is that what it's really about? Or is it really, truly about helping babies? Let's save more babies. And if you have an extra $1, and not all of us do, but if you do, please donate to March of Dimes or a local organization, or go do something special. Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a plantastic day. Alright, so you're going to go to my page on your phone, take a screenshot, open it up, crop it to however you want that to look, and then you're going to go ahead and save that screenshot to your photos. Open up the photo, open up Instagram, where you're going to do the same thing if it's Facebook, and then let's put it on your story. So go to your stories like you're making a new one. Select your pictures and put it there. Now you can go ahead and add some text. Type in whatever message you want to add to it. And the biggest thing is to use the hashtag plantsforpremies. And you want to tag me, plantastica.greenheart on Instagram. You want to tag whichever greenhouse is doing that particular giveaway and tag March of Dimes. If you're doing it on Facebook, just go to your Facebook and upload the photograph and do the same thing. Use that hashtag and see if you can tag whichever greenhouse and March of Dimes. If you want to add it to your Instagram main stream, you're going to do the same thing. Go ahead, crop it, save it to your photos, open up Instagram, click the button just to add a picture. Just make sure that you hit the little button so that you make it full screen instead of square, unless it's perfectly square. Type your message, do the same thing. Use the hashtag plantsforpremies and tag everybody. Me, the greenhouse, and March of Dimes. Instagram, just click the three little dots, hit share to. You'll get this screen and you can just scroll around. You can share right to Facebook, type your message, and it has that link. You can share it to your news feed, right to a friend's timeline. Then you can scroll around, you can send an email. It'll pop your email up with the link to the Instagram post. You can send a text message with the email, anywhere you want. So that's super easy too.